I'm nervous. Hello, welcome back to the chaos that is Shani and books. Today I'm doing something that I've been thinking about doing for years, but I've never done. You know, I love book clubs. I'm always talking about the books that I want to read for the month within those book clubs, and there are so many to follow, but I can't always participate. Sometimes book clubs read new releases that aren't out yet in Australia because we are not always getting the same publishing schedule as other countries, so I can't get it in time. And sometimes I'm just not interested in the books that are picked for the month because we all have different reading tastes. I love discussing books, don't we all? So lately I've been going and reading book reviews on Goodreads that have spoilers in them. So it feels like I read with someone. Tell me you have no friends without telling me you have no friends. But it's nice to be able to discuss all the spoilers within the book you just read with someone. So I thought, why don't I start my own book club? And then I'm guaranteed to be able to read the books that's picked for the month because I'm picking the books. So this is why I'm nervous. There's already a lot of great book clubs online. So I'm kind of worried that no one's going to want to read with me, but I'm being brave. So welcome to the Baby Chaos Book Club. Chaos because it's my brand at this point, and baby because hopefully it'll only be a baby amount of chaos in the live discussions. Otherwise, baby, it's chaos. I don't know if I'm going to make an Instagram to follow. I just decided I'm going to make it right after I finish filming this video. So go and follow the Instagram to keep up to date with everything. Now, let's discuss the upcoming book picks. Also, yes, the rest of this video will be in the form of a dorky PowerPoint presentation, but for October, because that is the next month coming up, we will be reading, or I will be reading, and hopefully someone will join me, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Okay, let me give you some brief dot points on the book, but please note that I have not read any of the books that I'm telling you about, so my descriptions could be completely wrong, but we're about to find out. 1, it is a horror book. It's set in the 90s. Vampires are in it, if you couldn't tell from the title, and it is following some suburban mums. Reasons why I chose it, and I need to adjust myself. Also, I realize I don't really need to justify myself on the reasons I chose it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Number 1, it is a book about a book club. It says in the title, Southern Book Club's Guide. Felt fitting for a new book club. Number 2, it's about mums. I'm a mum. Again, felt like it fit. Number 3, it is a male author writing female characters, specifically a male horror author. A lot of you may have come from this video that got a lot more views than I expected, which scared me. But in it, I spoke about a situation that stemmed from a male horror author being upset about being told that he couldn't write female characters very well. And he ended up taking things too far, and I'm not going to get into it. You can watch that video if you haven't already, but you probably have. But I thought it would be funny if my first book club pick was a male horror author writing female characters. I just want to edit in and say that Haley, the booktuber who was the one who originally said that a certain male horror author could not write female characters, she has read Grady Hendrix and she loves him. So I do have high hopes for this book in regards to that. I just thought it would be funny to pick a male horror author. So let's see how this male author does. And point number 4, spooky season. It's a month of Halloween and this is a book about vampires. It seems fitting. Also, I feel like I've seen some people posting that they were going to read this month. I know for a fact I saw Lacey post, but she maybe already started it. I don't know. Anyway, spooky season. On to the next book. I feel a bit silly giving this presentation, but for November, we will be reading, or I will be reading, and hopefully someone will read with me, the book Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Alternatively, this is the cover that may be more familiar to you, depending on which country you're in. Some dot points on this book. It is literary fiction, which is more in my comfort zone than horror. It is following white suburban mums, but more specifically, white suburban mums versus immigrant in poverty. Again, haven't read this one, so I don't know if that's an accurate description, but I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, I've seen people say like discussions about race in there, and I feel like it was an immigrant, right? I don't know. Either way, I love discussions about race in books, so and there is an adoption controversy in the book. Lastly, it has been adapted, also is a New York Times bestseller, and it won the Goodreads Choice Awards for the year it came out, so it's very popular. Reasons why I chose it. Number 1, it's a 5-star prediction. If you saw my 5-star predictions video, you'll know I'll be very surprised if I don't enjoy this. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm fairly confident. Number 2, it's been out for ages. This will, 1, make it easier for people to get copies either from a used bookstore or from your library or just buying new at a bookstore. Or maybe you already own a copy because it's been out for a while. And number 2, more likely that people have already read it and maybe you'll be able to come to the live discussion anyway. Number 3, it has an adoption storyline. I am a sentimental softie and my first ever book club discussion was this one, which was 3 years ago at the end of this month. The book that we read and discussed was The How and the Why by Cynthia Hand, which is about a character who was adopted. Having a bit of a full circle moment with the book clubs. Reason number 4, it has a house burned down. The first line of the synopsis on Goodreads says, everyone in Shaker Heights was talking about it that summer, how Isabel, the last of the Richardson children, had finally gone around the bend and burned the house down. Which again, sentimental. This was another one of the book club discussions I was a part of for the book Malibu Rising, which also involves a fire. So moving on. This part is undecided, so I would like to hear your input. For December, I was unsure about whether or not to pick a book. It's a busy month for most people, a lot of people. So I wasn't sure if anyone would have the time. Also, the discussion couldn't be at the end of the month because I feel like that's the extra busy time. So it would have to be earlier and that's even less time for reading and less chance of people who would want to read. So here's my thought process. My first book idea was The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson because on the one hand, it's a popular author, it's Christmas themed, it's a thriller mystery, so I feel like it will make for a good discussion. And it's short. It's only 112 pages according to Goodreads, so it won't take as long to read as a full-length novel. But the cons is it's about to release at the end of this month, so who knows if we'll get it in Australia. Like, will I be able to get it in time? And also, will other people be able to get it in time? I didn't want to pick new releases because I thought there was a less chance of people being able to get it. So I scrapped this idea. Let me know what you think, if other book clubs are maybe reading it. I haven't been keeping super up to date with what the next couple of picks are. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to scrap this idea. My second idea, I was going to look for something from an Australian author. 1, because I'm Australian, obviously, but 2, for more sentimental reasons. Another first for me in book clubs was when I was asked by Jan to co-host her book club. And the book was 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty, which I still have a difficult relationship with this author because Big Little Lies is my favorite book, but I've hated everything else that she's written, but that's not what we're talking about. She is an Australian author, so to be my sentimental self, I wanted to choose an Aussie author, but I was having trouble finding an Aussie Christmas book. The only thing I could find was this book, which is called Cool Story Bro, and it looks like a Mal romance set in Australia between a Canadian and an Australian, which fits the Australian and Christmassy theme. And it's short. It's only 56 pages according to Goodreads. And it looks like it's on Kindle Unlimited, the Australian one anyway, because we all get different titles. But the con is that I literally never heard of this book before. And to be honest, I don't have much faith that it's actually going to be any good. It's only 56 pages. And I don't want to ask people to read something bizarre. Plus, I feel like less people will join in if I pick a rando book. So scrapped that idea. Stay with me. So then I thought, there are literally so many Australian Christmas picture books. So my idea, and please tell me if you hate this or not, but I was thinking, why don't I go back to my teacher roots? If you didn't know, I was a primary school teacher before I took time off to have a child. And why don't I read a picture book aloud on live stream? And you can mark it for your Goodreads goal for the end of the year too. And then because it's going to be only short, for the remainder of the live, I'll do a little lesson about Christmas in Australia, teacher style. I've been in the chat of a few lives before where the topic of Australia and Christmas in Australia has come up. And the discussion is quite interesting because obviously our Christmas is different because it's during summertime. Also, there was this TikTok going around recently where a girl had just found out that Australians have the opposite seasons. And she was saying like, okay, but it's August for us and August is a summer month for us, but it's winter for you guys. So do you still call it August or do you call it something else? I feel like she was not telling the truth. Like, I think she just wanted traction on her video with people stitching it, but it was really funny. And that reminded me of this idea because Australians were stitching it and trying to teach her about Australia and like the differences in seasons and stuff. So I don't know, it might be fun to just have a chill live show where we hang out before Christmas and I share some like Aussie facts. Because I feel like sometimes when I'm in the chat of people's lives, sometimes I do bring up random Aussie facts. I don't know. I think it always just comes into discussion. I don't know. I just thought that might be fun. So the pros of this idea. for December. 1, you don't have to read anything prior to coming to the live show. You just rock up on the day and I'll read to you. 2, this means we can have the discussion earlier in the month, like in the middle or even at the start of the month. 3, I've received comments on videos before of people saying that they also have children. So you can make this like a little family event. Pop the live on the TV and I can read to the kids as well. And number 4, like I said, it's going to be like 30 illustrated pages. So it'll be quick and you can add it to your Goodreads goal if you need to bump it up and race to finish it before the end of the year. So I don't know, let me know. So my questions for you. Obviously the first things is the stuff I've mentioned, whether you're actually interested in the books that I have picked or if you've already read them and can come. And let me know if you'll be joining. Also your opinions on my December thought process, because I just feel like it's going to be too much pressure to add a book for December. But secondly, logistically, I'm obviously in Australia, so time zones is my next question. I also have a child to factor in, so I would prefer if he wasn't there to interrupt during live because I can't edit him out like I can in videos. So hopefully I can have someone to assist. I'm thinking my best bet will be Sunday mornings, which will be Saturday afternoon/night in the US. So let me know if that's a terrible time. Like, are you out partying or whatever? I don't know what cool people do because I'm an old lady and I stay at home. Or alternatively, my mum usually comes on Monday or Tuesday mornings, which will be Sunday or Monday evenings for the US. But then any Australians who work 9 to 5s can't come because it'll be a weekday morning. But I feel like I have more US viewers than Australian viewers. So I don't know. Let me know about time zones. So yes, thank you for attending my presentation. In conclusion, please read with me. In all seriousness, I hope you are able to join. I'm a bit nervous posting this. I think I'm just going to edit it straight away and upload it before I lose my nerve. And check it out. Follow the Instagram too for updates, which I'm going to create that Instagram right after I do this. Hopefully, if these couple of months go well, I can plan for next year. I'm going to just go with the flow with what works. Like if one book a month is too much, then I might do one every 2 months or one every quarter or something, depending on how many people feel like they can join, and we'll just go from there. So this couple of months is kind of a test. Also, if you aren't interested in any of the books that I picked, here are some other book clubs that may have an upcoming book that you do prefer. A lot of creators have their book clubs within their Patreon too. So maybe you could check your favorite creators' Patreon and see if they have a book club that you may be interested to join if these free options don't have the books that you're looking for. And if you know any other book clubs that you enjoy, leave them in a comment. A lot of these ones on the screen are mystery thriller book clubs, which I'm sometimes not in the mood for. So if you know any that read any other genres, let us know so we can spread the love to all of the book clubs. But I'll leave, these linked below. You probably already follow them because lots of them are run by very popular creators. But yes, okay, Kian needs me, so I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here and I'll talk to you next time.